Hello everyone, Alchemist here. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Today is a smoke scrying reading for you, and I'm gonna channel through this beautiful fresh stick. Whatever the smoke has for us, whatever the fire has for us, let's get right to it. What do you need to hear? What do you need to know? Whatever comes to me, I'm gonna channel it, and hopefully it's gonna help you with what you're going through right now. Let's do this. Sorong mechres ilen zeragong. This stick has one of the most beautiful smelling smoke. It smells divine. It smells incredible. Maybe some of you can smell it as well, but it's so different from the other sticks that I was using. This smells just very different. Look at the line, the consistency of the line. You see that? It's like someone traced it with a ruler. It's so perfect. This already says a lot about you. It says that you're very unique. This stick having a beautiful smell that's very different from the other ones represents your uniqueness. It means that you're very unique, you're very different from the people around you, from the people you know. You're one of a kind. And look at the perfection of this line here. Usually it doesn't happen like that with the sticks. That means that you're perfectly balanced, you're not delusional, you ask a lot of questions. When you discover something new, you try to understand it because your mind is very organized. It's not all over the place. And even when it's all over the place, it's in an organized way. You ask a lot of questions. You wonder why you're here. You have trouble understanding your existence. And the reason why is because you are overwhelmed with what's going on in your life right now. There's so much happening that you can't make sense of what is what anymore. But look, even in the shape of, I want to mention this, even the shape of the stick, look how perfect it looks like. So you're probably a person who likes perfectionism. You like when things are perfect, organized, everything in its place. Everything should be where it belongs. Everything should look amazing. It should look beautiful. It should look perfect. You're that kind of person. Because even how the smoke manifests, look at the first layer of the ashes, how it's also forming a perfect line. It's crazy. I've never seen something like this before. And the stick is perfect. Everything is perfect. But this is what's making you ask a lot of questions. Because you're a perfectionist, you become overwhelmed because you're thinking about a lot of things. And you have 10,000 questions and you don't have the answers to those questions because you want to understand why everything is such. Why is this like this? Why is this like that? You want to know all the answers. It's in your nature. It goes back to a past life. But this reading is here to teach you that there's nothing perfect. That even creation itself is not perfect. Creation is perfect by being imperfect. Okay? So if you seek perfection, you're someone who's a perfectionist and you like perfection, you're going to find the perfection in the imperfection. And as I'm saying this, see how the fire didn't turn off? It means that's how you need to think. You have to shift your way of thinking to understanding that perfection is imperfection. One way to do so Look at the fire right now. One way to do so is to hermit. You need to hermit. You need to go through a hermit phase and start your alchemical transmutation. That's the only way out for you, because you have so many programs in your mind. I sense it. You have so many programs, and it doesn't even help because you're a perfectionist. So you're a perfectionist who has so much programs installed, hundreds of programs. And the problem is, you think, here I'm trying to get some fire and some smoke, and it doesn't want to, which is coherent with what I'm saying, because that perfection that you have makes it hard for you to see things from a different perspective. That's why the fire doesn't even want to start. You believe in something because it comes from a program that was installed in your mind when you were young, and you believe in that program so blindly just because it's a program that's there. So for you, you're like, this is in my mind, I need to believe in it. It has been there since I was young, and that's all that matters. It is in my mind for a reason, and I need to believe in it. I don't care about anything else. But that keeps you stuck. That gives you more confusion. That gives you more questions. That doesn't give you the answers you're looking for. That makes life harder for you. You need to realize that the only way to get out of this conundrum is to start an alchemical transmutation. And how you do it is by hermiting. Spend time by yourself. Away from distractions, away from society, from what people tell you every single day, what your family tells you, what your coworkers tell you, what your best friends tell you. Because the more you spend time with these people, the more you spend time in these environments, you are concretizing and asserting those programs. You're making them stronger, and they're going to be harder to remove. And the danger with that is that if these programs become even stronger, and you know what I mean by programs, right? Just belief systems, right? That's what I'm talking about. Societal belief systems. So the more these programs become stronger, the harder for you to change. And by changing, I mean transforming, transmuting into your highest version. The first thing you need to realize is that life is not about perfection. There's nothing perfect. The proof is nature. Go to nature and you'll see how nothing is perfect in nature. Just go to a park or go to like some wild nature near you and observe what's going on in nature. Yet it's the most beautiful thing, but it's imperfect. There's no perfection. So you have to become aware of that. Awareness is everything. The first thing you need to do is to become aware that there's nothing perfect in life. And then you have to start spending time by yourself. Meditation is going to be helpful for you, but not the regular meditation, not vipassana meditation, not the meditation where you sit in a lotus pose. No, you're not the kind of person who can do that. You have to meditate by spending time alone doing what you love. Do you like to draw? Do you like to sing? Do you like to spend time in nature? Go for walks by yourself? Play music instruments? Or work with your hands? Like a hobby that you love that requires you to use your hands. That's your meditation. Because the more you do that, the more you'll start emptying your mind from these programs, these useless programs that have been installed. But remember that you're going to need to do this alone, by yourself. You can be with best friends or family or whoever. The more you work on yourself, hermit, spend time alone, look at the fire, eat healthy, spend time meditating, doing what you love, not the regular meditation. It could be even like cooking. It could be fixing, I don't know, your bike or your car or anything that makes your mind be in the present moment. Anything like that. Go for long walks, because for you, it's not even about knowledge. You use your left mind much more than your right mind. So for you, knowledge, even if you learn it, it has to make sense. But here's the problem with occult knowledge. The problem with occult knowledge is that it doesn't make sense in the left brain way, in the scientific way. In this three-dimensional world, the occult does not make sense. Spirit does not make sense. And for you, it's very, very hard to believe. So for you, it's not about reading or doing research. That's why I didn't mention it. For you, it's about awakening that right side of your brain, which is the divine feminine, which is connection to spirit. That's what you need to work on, your creativity. And that's why spending time alone is going to help you with that. Hermiting is going to help you with that. Think of it as when you hear someone saying something, it could be like news or new information or a new whatever it is. You're supposed to almost ignore it. The way you've been fed information and programs since you were young is that you hear something and it has to be logical and it makes sense, and then you just take it to heart and it becomes installed in your mind forever. So first of all, before you even deprogram your mind from these things you've been taught, you need to stop. You need to stop receiving more unnecessary stuff. You have to first stop. And that's why I'm telling you, spend time by yourself, go to nature, activate your creative mind, your right side of the mind. That's going to help you with understanding that there's nothing perfect in existence or creation. There was once a person who went to a wise Zen master, to a monk. Look at the fire. If you do what I told you in this reading, this is how your fire is going to become. In the beginning, the fire didn't even want to start, and now look at the fire. So you're going to activate who you truly are. There was a person who went to a monk, to a Zen monk, and he told him, I want to learn more about spirit, about the universe, about enlightenment. I want to reach enlightenment and I want to learn more. How can I learn more? And the monk was preparing some tea. The tea was ready, so the monk asked the man to hold the cup. He asked him, can you please hold the cup for me? I want to pour some tea. The man held the cup, and the monk started pouring the tea without stopping until the tea started spilling out of the cup. The man was startled. The tea was hot. And he told him, stop, stop, stop. It's hot. What are you doing? The tea is spilling everywhere and it's hot. And the monk told him, your mind is like this right now. You want to learn more while your cup is full. So what's going to happen? The tea is going to spill, so it's going to be a waste. And it's going to hurt you because the tea is hot. So you're not going to learn anything. If anything, you're going to damage yourself. So he told him, what do you think we should do? And the man replied, we should empty the cup first. He told him that's exactly what you need to do before you learn something new. You need to empty your cup before you can receive more, before you can get more tea. So for you, it's the exact same thing. You need to first stop learning, stop trying to acquire new information or new knowledge, or you have to stop. You hermit, you empty all of the old programs, and it's gonna take a long time. This is a lifelong journey. Take your time. It might take years, but take your time. It's okay if it takes years. And as you move forward on your journey, you empty your mind from these old unnecessary programs that don't serve anything, like emptying that cup. And once that cup becomes empty, once you empty your mind and you work on yourself, then you can start learning more about the occult. But at that point, you're going to be ready to see the imperfection in everything, and you're going to be ready to use your divine feminine energy, and you're going to be ready to use your creativity, and you're going to be ready, most importantly, to understand that nothing makes sense when it comes to spirit, that there is no logic and there is no science. But you will be ready to understand that. Then you can start filling your cup again. Okay? So I hope this helps along your journey with what you're going through. And what I mentioned actually coincides with the stages of alchemy. The Nigredo, Albedo, and Rubedo. You have to kickstart your alchemical transformation and embark on the Nigredo stage, where you need to embrace your darkness and empty everything you have learned. Everything you think you know is going to have to go down the drain, because it doesn't serve you anything. It only serves you more confusion and more questions that you can't find the answers to. But you were led to see this reading because you need to start this journey, because you're ready to awake who you truly are, to become who you truly are. You're ready to understand what cannot be understood. So I'm called to stop here. The fire consumed the whole stick, almost all of it. But this was a beautiful, beautiful channeling, because letting go of the old programming, what doesn't make you who you are, can be very, very challenging. And sometimes people have the delusion that they are already getting rid of programs, and they actually not. One way to recognize that is, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And if the answer is yes to that, it means you still have to get rid of a lot of programs in your mind. These questions are, and these are just examples. Do you care about politics? Do you care about where people are from? Do you care about people's nationalities and skin color and gender? Do you care about people's professions? Do you care about celebrities and wealthy people and famous people? Do you care about pop culture? Do you care about trends? What's trendy? What's the new trendy thing? Do you care about fashion? What's the most fashionable thing right now? Do you care about just doing what others are doing? Doing it for the sake of doing it because others are doing it? You can have hobbies and interests. You can know what's happening in the world. I'm not saying you should live under a rock and not know what's going on. As a matter of fact, I know what's happening in the world, and sometimes in details. There's a difference between knowing what's going on in the world and being part of it. So are you part of that? That's what I'm asking. And if the answer to what I just asked is yes, for any of those things, then you still have a lot of unprogramming to do. A lot. But don't worry about it. Again, it's a lifelong journey. Maybe it's the reason why you reincarnated to begin with. You came back in this lifetime to work on yourself. Most people don't even think about this. They think, oh, I'm here for a mission. I'm here to help people. No, maybe you're here to help yourself. Maybe you're here to work on yourself. So in your next reincarnation, you have a much better life. Maybe you reincarnate in another dimension, and maybe you transcend this cycle. Think about it. What if you came here to work on yourself? The sole reason you reincarnated so you can work on yourself, so you can become your greatest version, your highest version. But most people never think about themselves. They only think about other people. I'm here to help others. I'm here to do this for others. What are you doing for yourself? Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. Thank you very much. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Soros mich izleren, soros kilech, karoskimin chalerek ik resh, izo.